The breaking political news tonight, and it is big breaking political news. Just moments ago, the Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene posted on her X account the announcement she's resigning next month. Her last day, she says, January 5th.
I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026. And I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Back with us now, David Axelrod and Shermichael Singleton. Shermichael, to you first as the Republican in the conversation. President Trump recently said he wanted her primaried. She recently said he was wrong. She stood up to him on the Epstein files, and she won. What do we make of this?
I mean, I'm a bit surprised. I mean, Thomas Massie is also up for re-election, and he's been able to, in a very unique way, pivot despite the president's attacks. I was actually just talking to a friend who's very close to the congressman a couple days ago, and he was telling me that the congressman has actually seen his fundraising numbers increase by focusing on H-1B visas and focusing on prioritizing work for Americans. And so I would have argued, if I were advising her, hey, you might be able to get through this brief moment in time, but perhaps she thought otherwise. Maybe she's looking at future plans, but this is a big shocker, John.
Her people, David, have said she could survive, that she's been raising money and that she thinks she's safe in her district. To Shermichael's point, she did say, I'll see you again. What do we make of that?
I think that was the key. That was the key takeaway to me. I think she would have won in her district. I don't think this is her assessment of her chances in this election. I think she surveyed, first of all, what it meant to come back to a House where the president was unhappy with her. She has a bad relationship with the Speaker of the House, probably in the minority. And she decided that there might be greener pastures. Remember, John, she wanted to run statewide this year. She wanted to run for the Senate, I believe. And that was turned thumbs down by the White House and the powers that be in the party. I think that may be part of what her estrangement has been about, not questioning her sincerity on this Epstein issue. But I think she's got her eye on bigger things here. As she said, I hope to see you down the line.
Some people are speculating that her name may be in the files. I don't think that her name is in the Epstein files. That's a long shot. Because why would she be advocating so hard for them to get released if her name is in them? Obviously, that doesn't make sense. Other people are saying that she's lost ground in the political party, and then there's other people that are saying that she is looking to run for a bigger office and that she is not completely removing herself out of politics. I don't really understand how that makes sense either, because you don't have to resign from your position, especially with all of the visibility that comes with you being able to be who you are and do what you do. And she's been making a lot of rounds on The View. I think that all of this was pre-planned. None of this is new information to her and her team. She is being very strategic about it. And again, we're all just getting this information right now as I record it. I'm dropping it off to you guys. And I don't think that this is a mistake. I don't think that this is happenstance. I also do not believe that there's a scandal behind it, but I do think that this was planned out all along, and that this whole turning against her party, demanding that these files get released after she was pro-Trump and had the Trump was right about everything hat on, and then she goes on The View, then she goes on CNN, then she goes on MSNBC and all of these liberal platforms. Some could even speculate that maybe she's looking to change parties. Others are saying that maybe she's looking to run for a bigger seat somewhere. Who knows? But I do think that this is pre-planned, and I think that this is a rollout of what she is to announce soon next, especially considering that, again, she was getting a lot of visibility and she was making a lot of waves.
And I think that is a precursor, because what we know is she is formidable. She's one of the most formidable fundraisers in the Republican Party. She knows how to get attention. And she has made this transformation here that is interesting. Still a MAGA person, but much broader in her reach. So, I think this is not the end of the story here. Not the end of the story.
The question is, what's the next chapter,
That's what I was gonna
Michael?
bring up.
Is it, does she reconsider about running statewide next year? There's a Senate race in Georgia, or we have this conversation all the time. We just saw it in the elections in Virginia and in New Jersey, where Republican candidates try to be like Trump, and forgive my language, but they get smoked because Trump is a unique phenomenon. She actually is like Trump. She actually is in touch with a lot of his base. Do you think she has national ambitions? Is she thinking, J.D. Vance, I'll see you in Iowa?
I mean, I can't imagine that, John. I don't think she would be very successful, if I'm being blunt and candid, as a Republican strategist. I do, however, beg the question, can she actually even be successful in a statewide race in Georgia? Remember, Georgia elected Kemp twice. He certainly isn't someone that I would say is in the vein of a Donald Trump, and has actually had various infighting in the state.
That's precisely. Forgive me for interrupting. Forgive me for interrupting. That's precisely the reason I say, and I know you say, I can't see her going up against J.D. Vance. But David Axelrod's in this conversation. Nobody could see Barack Obama beating Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump is president of the United States for a second time. Nobody could see him winning the Republican nomination or the White House the first time, and a lot of people said he could never win the White House again after January 6th. That is why I say we live in the age of improbable success stories.
Yeah, but John, I don't think she's a Barack Obama or even a Donald Trump. And if she's thinking about a statewide race, and I would imagine David would potentially agree with me here, what is the constituency to propel Marjorie Taylor Greene statewide? She wouldn't get Donald Trump's support, and I doubt that she would get the support of the current Governor Kemp. So then what would be that path to a Marjorie Taylor Greene success to the U.S. Senate? I just don't see it.
David, hang on with your thought. I just want to bring into the conversation. Hang on, David, just one second. I want to bring in to our conversation with some new reporting our senior White House correspondent, Kristen Holmes. Again, Kristen, this is very dramatic, coming at the end of a week where Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, once very close allies, have had a very public and very nasty breakup.
Yeah, and one of the most remarkable things about this is I have talked to a number of people who are close to Marjorie Taylor Greene who described the last several days as painful for her. I mean, you got to remember, there are a number of different kinds of Trump supporters in Washington. There are the supporters of convenience, and there are the true believers. And I do tend to think that overall, the true believers are fewer and farther between. And she was a true believer when it came to Donald Trump. And I think that part of her never thought it would get this bad with the president. And even when she was speaking out against him, I don't think she thought that he would personally attack her. And of course, as we know with President Trump, almost always loyalty is a one-way street. And she learned this the very hard way as a true believer who then essentially got excoriated by him online. And I will tell you, I was talking to people who were close to her who were telling me that she was getting threats nonstop. I know she posted about this. And then you had President Trump, even with that, saying that she was playing herself or portraying herself as a victim. It seems to me, and look, what her next role is, I think that's obviously a huge question, but I do have to agree with Michael, that there's not a clear path here. I think that her path is kind of the Donald Trump, woman version of Donald Trump, has obviously run its course. And so what she decides to do next, we'll obviously have to wait and see. But I do think it's pretty remarkable that he has now, most of the people that we've seen stand up to him and then decide that they're going to resign or retire are people who are already kind of in the middle, people who we were surprised to see them supporting Donald Trump in full anyway.
Yeah, I think that there's something on the horizon. I can't put my finger on it yet. Obviously, we just getting the news that, that she is resigning. But, I'm on top of it. And as soon as I get it, you guys get it. And as soon as I find out more information, I'll be right on top of it and dropping it for you guys to check out. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm holler at you guys later. Peace.